between Uma and Mimii, Mimi's gone about it in a lot better way.
Just enjoy time with her because she's top stuff, man. If you had to lay it down to me and Kieran that, or we've always said Mimii.
This is going to end in tears. This is going to end in tears. The audacity for me is the audacity for Jess and Uma to think that they can sort of force these guys' hands into picking them by pretending to have stepped away from the situation doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. And I am here for Kieran and Ronnie saying that they are Team Mimii. Let's go. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, season 11, episode 10. Oh my god, I just want to give a shout out to one of my subs who's back again. Welcome back. We will try and make it make sense. Oh, it's really sad to see Patsy and Mimii go home, but they didn't have a connection. They should have played the game the way they wanted to play it, in the sense that they should have continued to pretend like they liked each other. Maybe they would have stayed in the villa, but because something happened between the two of them and we never found out what it is, they suddenly broke up and never really spent any more time together. This is why they're going home, which is really sad, but hey, it is what it is. And then you have the Islanders. Samantha is, I don't want to say she's delusional, but it's coming across that way, in the sense that she knows why she's coupled up with this man. One of the girls, when he kissed them on day one, said it was all teeth, and I think it was Samantha. And suddenly she realized that this was her best chance of staying in the villa. So the audacity to think because they were called up number one, couple safe, she thinks they're the nation's favorite. They're not. It's because of Ronnie's fan base. This is why they're still there. Without Ronnie's fan base, they would have gone. And for her to say it's because of me, whether she was joking or not, that didn't come across great. You can tell Joey's not in that couple. His mind is not there. He's there physically because he's got nowhere else to go, but he's not there. I think if either Harriet or Uma were suddenly to become single, he would leave Samantha. I think he's only with her because he's got nowhere else to go and is terrified of her, and the other girls don't want to upset her. This is why things are going that way. And for Jess is making a big deal out of nothing. She gave an ultimatum. The ultimatum wasn't met. She should have kept it moving. Instead of her sort of complaining to the girls, she was complaining to Nicole and Samantha. Oh, I think I'm behind Harriet. I don't get why I'm behind Harriet. And it's like, maybe because there's something about Harriet that he likes. I'm not Harriet's favorite. Harriet is not one of my favorite people in the villa, but maybe there's something about her that he likes, or maybe he's waiting for one of you girls to drop you off because he likes you both the same and he doesn't want to disappoint anyone. So whoever stays behind stays behind. And I think this is the same situation with Ayo. I think Ayo likes both girls, and he's waiting for one of them to drop off, and whoever, that way he doesn't come out as the bad guy. It was sad to see Harriet cry because it seems she was very close friends with Patsy, and so for her to say, who will I sit on the day beds and blah, and have Mimii say, I'm here, we were a trio, so don't worry, I'm here, I'll always be with you. And I don't get it. I really don't get it. Whether it's the edits or not, I don't get it how, after watching last season where you had the three girls, the lucky girls, get on very well, I don't get why Uma is treating Mimii that way. I really don't. And I don't get why the girls have always been united. Yes, they've fought over guys from time to time, but it hasn't been this sort of cliquish and sort of mean girlish whereby you have some people feel like they're on the outside or looking in when they're all in the same villa. I don't get it. With what's her name, Jessie, she's giving me Paige vibes. If you remember Paige, who used to smile at people's faces and then be horrible, and people came out saying she was one of the meanest islanders in the villa, and yet she was a paramedic. This is the same thing with this girl. She works in customer service at Marks and Spencer. You think she'd be very social and very approachable and very open to people, but some of the things that she does are mean-spirited, and I think this is why she aligns with Uma, because they sort of play the same game. I didn't like the way she spoke to Harriet, irregardless of whatever's going on, because for her to say, I've stepped away from Harriet said, oh, we're still here with our love triangle, and for her to say, well, I've stepped away from it, you're enjoying it, that's why you're entertaining it. And it's like, but she likes the guy, so you want her to take a step back just because you like him more. Make that make sense? It's each man for himself and God for us all in the villa. So you either sit down and you sort of decide what you want to do. Do you want to continue to fight for this guy, or do you want to move on, or you keep quiet? And it's like, there's no need to be like that. Harriet is not one of my favorite people in the villa, I'll repeat again. But I don't like the way Jess is patronizing towards her. The way she talks down to her like she's a little kid who doesn't know what she's doing and is sort of pestering her, or is sort of trying to squeeze herself where she's not wanted. That I don't like. At the end of the day, they're both in Love Island. They both have to do what's in their best interest. If Harriet feels like she's got a connection with this guy, then she can pursue it. Same goes for Jessie. If she feels the same way, she can pursue it. If not, she can keep it moving. For her to then go into the bedroom, the guys were asking Jess, what's going on? Why are they arguing? And she goes, I'm sick and tired of talking about him. Well, if you're sick and tired of talking about him, keep it moving. Go on to somebody else. Leave him alone and leave her alone. There's no need for you to be, going on and on about him. The Islanders go to bed. And this guy was telling Mimii that let's us take a step back. I don't want us to do ABCD. But he's spooning her in bed. And it's like, so why are you spooning her? Why are you big spoon if you told her you want to sort of keep away from her? You like her, but you don't want to offend Uma. Just tell Uma the truth and she can keep it moving. And for my favorite, Kieran is crazy. For him to say he's closed off, this is week 2, he's closed off. Let the mayhem begin, because I know for a fact the producers, now that he said that, are about to tempt him and are about to bring bombshells that are going to sort of disturb the peace in that relationship. So the Islanders go to sleep, as I said, with people doing whatever they're doing. And in the morning, you have a sort of a mini debrief in the kitchen with Mimii and Harriet, and they're sort of helping Portion bring up his game. The fact that even after Jess was very mean to her, I'm surprised that Harriet actually helped Sean make the coffee, gave him biscuits, and actually brought him up to the girls' room and showed him where Jess was. It takes a big person to do that. It takes a big person. And, I get where Mimii as well was coming from during that conversation when she said, he knows that Patsy is my best friend. And for him to save, Uma and send Patsy home, to me, tells me that, he still has feelings for her, or he's still willing to explore that. And so it makes me feel like second best. And I feel like Mimii is not second best. Mimii is not second best. I think this guy knows for a fact that the best person for him is Mimii. That's what I think. But he doesn't want to let down Uma because they come from the same country. She's got things about her that he likes, or he says he's type on paper. But do I think he's got a spark with her? I don't think it's the same as Mimii. At the end of the day, I don't think it's the same as Mimii. Their body language says the same thing, that I don't think it's the same. I know you might think, oh, maybe because she said she's a slow burner. I don't think that's it. I think even if she's a slow burner, if he really was that keen on her, he wouldn't be doing anything with Mimii. He wouldn't be kissing Mimii. He wouldn't be spooning Mimii. He wouldn't be checking on her. So I don't get it. And that conversation between these two London boys, these boys are a waste of space. I wish the girls would ignore them for once and make them shake, in the sense that I wish they would pretend like they're not bothered and they are moving on to other prospects, and see whether these boys will still be sitting there instead of saying, oh, it's only week 2, I can't make my mind up. You're in the villa, people are coming and going, yes, but you can sort of say to someone, at this point in time, you are the one I want to explore a connection with, instead of you continuing to put people on back burners, because somebody else is going to walk in and they're going to choose that person that you are saying you're still wanting to know and you're not yet decided. So there was that mini sort of conversation between Nicole, I think, and Samantha. I don't remember whether the other one was Jess. I think it was Jess, when she was telling them that Kieran said he's closed off. He doesn't want to get to know anyone. And it's like, yeah, at the moment, he should have said, at the moment, I don't want to get to know anyone. For her to say, he said, even if a new bombshell comes in, that's a lie. That's a lie. There's going to be tears. The producers would not sit for it, for a couple to be closed off week 2 and stay closed off until the very end. That has never happened in all the time that I've watched Love Island, but then I've only watched like 3-4 seasons. So we'll see what happens there. And then you have Sean trying to lay thick. I don't get why Jess is playing with Sean. I think Jess is keeping Sean on the back burner for her to say to him, oh, you're the type of guy I would want to bring home. Well, if he's the type of guy you want to bring home, you say you're 25 years old, you're getting older, you want to look for someone to settle down with. Why aren't you pursuing him? Or why aren't you entertaining him more? Why are you sort of saying, oh, you deserve better, you're that and the other? He's told you he's willing to relocate to Manchester. So what else do you need from this guy? I don't get it, but hey, it is what it is. So Samantha receives a text message that she and Joey are going on a date, and it's like, oh my god, they're really trying, aren't they? And you can see, I know someone was saying that, oh, now the producer's favorite is Kieran and what's her name, and Nicole, and they're the ones the producers are going to protect until the very end. No, I don't think so. I think it's Joey and Samantha because of the date that they set up. I think they're trying to sort of sweeten up Joey before they start with the mess, because apparently one of the bombshells coming in is someone that he knows. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. For the girls to sort of say to Samantha, make sure you don't talk about Joey's show for at least an hour. It's like, how much does she talk about it? She is a groupie. She's really a fan of that show, and so she's so excited that she's finally dated someone from the show. That's the impression that I get. I don't think it's because she likes him as a person or has any feelings towards him. I think she likes the character that she's seen on the TV, and that's who she thinks she's dating. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And then it's the audacity for me. It's the audacity for what's her name, Uma, to call Ayo for a chat. And I hate how she shortens people's nicknames. People already have nicknames. Why do you think you need to give them separate nicknames from what they have? Please sit down. Oh, I've decided to remove myself. I don't want you not to make out with Mimii in bed just because of me. I don't want you to not explore that connection because of me. I think she thought he would beg her. I think she expected him to beg her, to say, no, you can't step away. I still have feelings for you. And he just said they coolly and just took what she said and didn't even ask for a hug, because normally you'd ask for a hug afterwards. He didn't even ask for a hug, just took it for what it is. She said, I want to step away. He said, okay, do you, buddy? It is what it is. And then Mimii was right to say, I don't want to know what they're discussing, but I think at some point he's going to have to make a decision, and I am sort of becoming impatient. I'm becoming fed up because I've done my best to wait and be understanding. And for the guys to then sit down with Ayo, you had Ronnie and you had Kieran. I never thought I would champion Ronnie. For Ronnie to say, if you were to ask us who do we prefer for you in between the two girls, we would say Mimii, because Mimii is a class act. She understands what needs to happen in the villa. She's given you the grace and the patience to do what you want to do. So we fully our team Mimii, and it's like, okay, let's go. I'm here for this. And he knows it. Ayo knows who he likes. Ayo knows the qualities that Mimii is bringing to the table. Whether or not he's trying to sort of humor Uma or whatever he's trying to do, I don't understand. Yes, in his confessional, he said he is worried that at some point he might be left with no choice. Well, let's see which bombshells are coming in. He might actually not have a choice, because that bombshell might be interested in Mimii, and then once she's gone, that's it. He's lost. It's interesting how Samantha is so smitten with Joey that she's not listening to the words coming out of his mouth. Because she said to him, so are you... I think she wanted him to say he's closed off, because she already heard Nicole say that, Kieran had said he's closed off. And so she's asking him, are you still willing to get to know people if they're new bombshells or if anybody else comes in? And he sort of turns it around, and she doesn't notice, because he said, how would you feel if somebody that was your type came in? And so I don't know why she didn't go back to sort of pressing his feet to the fire and sort of asking him, I asked you a question, I need a response. Anyway, you have back at the villa, Ronnie, he's having a conversation with Harriet. Harriet is very all over the place. That's the most polite word I can use. She's very all over the place, because they have this conversation and it doesn't make sense. They're talking about the challenge that they did where, they did sex positions, and, they're sort of talking about wearing glasses, and it's like there needs to be more substance to this conversation. Are you interested in Ronnie just because of the fact that you're chasing him and the moment you catch him, you're going to move on to the next person? Or are you interested in him because there's something that you like? Same goes for Ronnie. The same could be said for Ronnie. You have everyone else just sitting around the villa. It's sad that Sean and Omar are just in the background. I know they did hype each other at the start, sort of saying now it's time for us to do the grafting and to put in the work. But I think they're struggling to do the work because none of the girls are sort of open to getting to know them. So you have Joey and Samantha come back, and she's so giddy and excited, and she's, oh, we had a great date and we shared a kiss and this, that, and the other. Whereas he's talking to the guys and he's telling them about her, asking about if he's interested in bombshells or whether it's closed off. And it's like, I'm not closed off. At the hill, it's a flat surface and we're neutral. It's not going up, it's not going down. And for me, I don't think he likes her like that. I think the more she speaks about his show, the more scared he becomes, because it's coming across as sort of a fan who's interested in her idol. It's not coming across as a girl who really likes someone that she wants to get to know. And so I'm excited that somebody that is from Joey's past is actually coming onto the show, and I hope he chooses to explore things with her and leave Samantha. I know Samantha is going to have a breakdown, but she sent Sam home so she can deal with that. Nicole receives a text message to say there'll be a recoupling in which the girls will get to pick, and so you can see the guys are nervous because you have Joey sort of teasing Ronnie and Ayo to say you're in love triangles, and it's like, Ayo's no longer in a love triangle. Mimii has took herself out, so there's no love triangle there. Jess is sort of trying to sort of say she's taking herself out, but she doesn't want to lose to Harriet. I think this is why she keeps pushing up on Ronnie. I don't think she's pushing up on Ronnie because she still has feelings. Although the girls were asking her, so do you have a speech for Ronnie? And she went, well, I don't even know if I'm going to pick him. I think she needs to stop chasing Ronnie just because she wants to chase Ronnie. I think she needs to take a seat and regroup and maybe try things with Sean, because Sean is really keen on her. I think she likes the idea that she'll get more publicity and she'll get more airtime with Ronnie. That's the impression that I'm getting. And Ronnie likes the idea that you'll get more publicity and more airtime with Harriet. None of the three of them are interested in the other person. They just like what comes with being in that love triangle. If there's anyone enjoying the mess that's happening in the villa at the moment, it's Joey, because he's not in the middle of it. He doesn't know that next week is about to be his week. The producers are really laying it thick for him and Kieran. It's going to be a nightmare for them. So everyone goes to get ready because they all know there's a recoupling, and Joey's busy saying to Ayo, you need to put on your best because the spotlight is going to be on you. And it's like, why is the spotlight on him? What's her name has already taken herself out of the equation. She's already told everyone that she's taken herself out of the equation. So it's just a matter of, is Mimii going to pick him or not? That's where he is. Otherwise, there's no need for him to worry about the spotlight. I like the conversation that Sean and Joey had because of the fact that Sean has really tried his best to put his best foot forward, and now he's just waiting for Jess to make a decision. Jess is saying she can either go with her head or her heart, and it's like, you are pushing on someone who's not keen on you. This guy doesn't feel about you that way. His speech at the recoupling should have been enough to tell you that no, he's not feeling me, but you continue to push on him because you feel like he owes you for saving him. But he also saved you when he picked you to be in a couple, so you're both even. You need to keep it moving. I don't know, Sean, it's sad. It's really sad because his fate now lies in Jess's hands. Ronnie's busy saying he hopes Jess picks him, and it's like, Ronnie, please make it make sense. I think Ronnie should share a bed with Harriet for a bit, and we'll see how long that lasts. They will explode because I think he'll become bored because there isn't any substance to that. I think he likes what she looks like and the fact that she gets him airtime, but there's nothing else there to that connection. So it's going to be interesting to see. I also like something I'd forgotten, Mimii in the changing room when the girls were asking her, how do you feel? Mimii has sussed out the room. People think Mimii doesn't know. Mimii knows that these girls don't like her, and she knows that these girls are sort of carrying tea from one place to the other. I think Ayo might have told her, and so she's decided to be very vague in her responses because whatever she says, she knows that the girls are going to run with it to Uma, and then it's going to be a nightmare. So she's decided to be neutral and just keep it to herself for now. I hope they bring her someone who's going to be a friend to her, someone she can confide in at some point. You have Uma having a conversation with Harriet, and it's like, make it make sense. Why is Uma there? She doesn't need to be there because we all know that Uma's Jess's spy and Jess is Uma's spy, so they will go and sort of befriend the competition, sort of get dirt on the competition, and then come back and report to whoever they're reporting to. I don't know. I don't think the person for Harriet is there. I don't think she's got a connection with anyone. It's sad that she didn't entertain Sean because I think Sean would have been good for her. Otherwise, all the other guys just like her appearance and then they're sort of bored by her. These people won't kill me, or they won't kill me. Anyway, so you have the islanders gather around the fire pit because Sean has received a text message that it's time for them to gather. And so the girls are picking, and first up is Nicole. Nicole, obviously, it was a given that she was going to pick Kieran. They have decided for now that they're closed off. I like the fact that she said in her speech, at the moment, there is no one who is likely to turn her head. And she doesn't think that anyone would come in and turn her head. And so the at the moment was the key word for me, that there is a possibility that her head could be turned. Yes, obviously, she's got this thing with rugby players, but she says it's changing her opinion of them. And it's like, Kieran hasn't been tempted. The producers are coming. Don't worry. If they don't tempt him in the villa, they're going to tempt him in Casa. So just sit and wait, love. Then we have Jess. Jess is so full of herself, isn't she? She thinks very highly of herself. There's nothing wrong with self-love, but I think at times you question whether it's self-love or whether it's someone being way overconfident when they shouldn't be. The fact that she thinks she is the prize, I don't get it. She hasn't done anything or said anything that makes me think she's the prize. The way she's carried herself, the way she's spoken to the other girls, that doesn't show someone whose prize worthy. Yeah, she did say something nice about Sean, and I'm happy for Sean because Sean really was pursuing her and wanted to explore that connection. And I hope she stays there. I hope she doesn't decide to go back to Ronnie. She said she gave an ultimatum. The ultimatum wasn't met. And it was sort of like her dressing down Ronnie. And it's like, if I were Ronnie, I wouldn't go back. Because if she's going to belittle you like that, then, it's time to move on. And just as you belittled her and she stayed, I think the two of you are done with one another. It's time for the two of you to move on to other connections and see if you can make it work there. The pity that Jess and Uma are playing stupid games in the sense that they're trying to force the hands of Ayo and Ronnie by picking people that are not them. I think they're thinking this is a power move in the sense that if they pick Oma and Sean, then Ronnie and Ayo are going to be threatened and they're going to put in a lot of work, or they're going to start grafting so that they can win them back. This is going to backfire. This is going to end in tears because you have Oma stand up just like Jess. She says a speech, this person has made me have a great time. I think they deserve to spend time. They are the prize and you should be excited to spend time with them. I don't think this is it. And I think Oma, this is why he wasn't very excited, because he could tell that he's being used in some sort of stupid game and he's worried that his time is being wasted by this girl who's pretending that she wants to give him a chance to explore something when she knows for a fact that she doesn't want to do anything. And you could see Mimii could read what was being said, because it wasn't sort of Oma saying, I'm done with Ayo, I am moving on, I'm trying a new connection to see if there's anything there. If there's nothing, then it is what it is. She's more or less giving hints to sort of say, I want you to be jealous. Look at who wants me. If you are not careful, if you don't get yourself in order, then I'm moving on. So I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that she sort of glanced towards Jess after her speech. It's like, so the two of you planned this and thought you were going to win with this. This is going to end in tears for one of you or for both of you. So we'll sit here and wait. You have Harriet choose to couple up with Ronnie. Ronnie, I don't know how he feels. I think he's better off with Harriet. That will make him more of an interesting couple than if he stays with Jess, because they're just boring. Because once Harriet steps away from the two of them, there's nothing else for the two of them to talk about. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise and he's better off staying with Harriet. Next, we have Mimii. And even though her mouth is saying that she's over the love triangle, her actions are not showing it. Because Mimii had to be sensitive in her speech, in how she came across, because at the end of the day, she didn't want to offend Uma. And the fact that the producers kept sort of going back to Uma doesn't make sense to me. She said she's moved on. She said she's taken away from herself from the love triangle. So why should she be bothered by what Uma and Ayo do? That's none of her business. She needs to keep it moving. Irregardless of the fact that, she's I'm his type on paper. He still has a better connection with her. So maybe you need to just focus on the person in front of you or wait for the next bombshell. I know a lot of people say, she's a big personality. Yeah, but it's not a positive personality though. It's very toxic and very childish, in my opinion. So we get Ayo be picked by Mimii and he was asking, are you okay? I think he could tell that she wasn't great. They're both trying to be sensitive of Uma. For what reason, I don't know. You have Sam. Sam picks Joey? Are we surprised? No. And I think she actually made a comment or a reference to his show, and it's like, this is becoming too much. This is becoming too much. I hope one of the other girls, or well, the new bombshells, I hope they're going to steal him, because I think he himself is becoming scared, because it's way too much the way she keeps referencing his life and whatever. I think this is why he was telling her that he wants 11 children. I think he's looking for ways to sort of put her off gently. That way she sort of removes herself from the situation, the same way Jess and Uma have tried to remove themselves from the situation. But I don't think he's still really interested in exploring anything romantically with them. Well, it's interesting that apparently Joey's ex is coming to the villa next, so I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see how he navigates that, and I can't wait to see Samantha lose her crap, because she was able to somehow sort of get Uma to back off, because Uma was really interested in Joey, and it seems somehow she was able to back off because of Samantha. So I can't wait to see what happens with the new bombshells. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 9. Bye guys!